We're going to advance a little bit in our discussion on trigonometry by looking at cosine rule. In the previous video, we have talked about sine rule, so now we should be talking about cosine rule. So we are looking at these two triangles. Here we have an acute triangle. At least we have that the one of the sides has an acute angle. Then here you see we have an obtuse angle here. So we can call this an obtuse triangle. So here we have an obtuse triangle. So whichever the case is, none of them is a right angled triangle. So cosine rule is also used when dealing with a non-right angled triangle. So we want to develop the formula for calculating, finding any of the sides or any of the angles in using cosine rule. So in any of these two triangles, either the acute triangle or the obtuse triangle, you have that a squared is equals to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc. Now cos a. So you also have that b squared should be equals to a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cos b. Then finally you have that c squared, that is side c, is equals to b squared, or rather you can have a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos c. So as you can see that when dealing with that, you see that the angle A will tally with side A. So you combine the two in that order. B agrees with angle B and side C agrees with side C. Now, we have to serve the condition for using this cosine rule. So you can use cosine rule when dealing with non-right angle triangle. Then you have that the two sides and the included angle is given. So you have two sides and the included angle. Then you can also, a situation where you have either you are given the two sides on the included angle, or you are given the three sides. You are given the three sides. The three sides also with the included angle. So we rather have one condition. So you have the two sides and included angle, or the three sides. So given all the three sides. So that's when we use cosine rule. So this is the formula we are going to familiarize ourselves with. So try to have this at the back of our mind when dealing with cosine rule. So when dealing with an example now, we're able to see clearly how and when to apply this. And also solving that example will show difference between the cosine rule and sine rule. In this example, we are to find line AC in the triangle below. Correct your answer to one decimal place. So we are looking for this side, maybe you call it side B. So here is what we are looking for. This side B is what we are required to find. So somebody might be wondering, why can't we use sine rule here? Then remember that sine rule says you must be given two sides. So two sides are given. Then you also be given the angle. But the angle, based on sine rule, we say that the angle must be facing one of the sides. So now these two sides we are given side 2m, given 3m, and this angle 120 degrees is not facing any of the sides. So you see that if you want to apply sine rule here, it's not going to work, because the only angle we are given is not facing any of the given sides. So now we're going to resort to cosine rule, because cosine rule says given two sides and any included angle. So once you are given two sides with any included angle, see that cosine rule will work. Then now, in using cosine rule, remember that this side now is agreeing with this angle. So now that means that what we are going to use is the second form of that cosine rule, which is the one that involves b squared, because the angle 120 degrees given to us is facing side B. So now in using that, now b squared now will now be equals to the remaining sides, the squares of the remaining side, which is 2 squared plus 3 squared, now minus 2ac, which is 2 times 2 times 3, now cos b. And what is b? 120 degrees. So now this will now give us 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, then minus, so you have 2 times 2 is 4 times 3, so this will give us 12 cos 120 degrees. So here we have this to be equals to 13. Now minus 12 times, what is cos 120 degrees? It's minus half. That is the same thing as minus 0.5. So now this will give us 13 minus. Here you have minus 12 times minus half. This is plus. So minus times minus already give us plus. Then 12 times half is 6. So this is what we have. So we now have this to be 19. So what it means therefore that b squared is equals to 19. But we are not looking for b squared, we are looking for b. So to find b, you take square root of both sides. So b is a square root of 19. Then remember we are told to leave our answer to one decimal place. So this is one decimal place. So if you get your calculator, you get the square root of 19. That will give you 4 point something. But to do one decimal place will give you 4.4 if you round off to one decimal place. So we now give the value is in meters. So this will give us 4.4 meters. Therefore, this b is now 4.4 meters. So you see we have used cosine rule. So whenever you are given the two sides and any included angle, and that if the angle is not facing any of the sides, you will use cosine rule. But if it's facing any of the sides, you can use sine rule to solve it. So what we have been able to substantiate here is that looking at this example, you see that sine rule will not work. So that is the idea of using cosine rule. So that's what we have.